Welcome back.
I think we were. It was like I guess from the summer, and then we did till winter, and then we've just been off for so long, and then we're back. Actually, there has been several people that have. I'm not even lying. They've been like, "Where's the
Really?
podcast at?" Yeah, several people. Several
Wow.
people. I was like, "Where's the
Shout out
podcast?"
to
Like,
you all.
it's coming back. It would have came back yesterday. Besides all of the internet and phones being down.
True. Honestly, I missed you, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
missed you too.
I feel like I haven't gotten to talk to you that much. I mean, I have, but like, this was sacred time.
Sacred time. Yeah,
And now
we're
it's
back. Thursdays. It was yesterday. This is actually a wild story with the phones, and we're literally just going right into it. I don't even.
Yeah.
We're in.
No,
We're
we're
going.
good.
We got plenty of stuff. We're going. Yesterday, so yesterday's when the phones went down. Did your phone go down, or was it just your internet?
No, so I have Verizon on my phone.
Okay.
So, I mean, I feel like it was kind of worse, but maybe that was me just making it up. But yeah, our Wi-Fi was on AT&T network, I guess.
Okay. And yeah, so I have a new training started yesterday. I'm going out to a school. So it's South Oldham. Training is at 6 a.m. to 7 and then 7 to 8.
Oh God.
Yeah, real early. And I've been training them over at the gym at Edge. They've been coming to me. They came to me for like 10 sessions or something for like 4 weeks. And they want to change over to school. We had to get all this stuff figured out, and we just got it figured out. So that was my first day going over there. And I wake up in the morning, I'm going to get there a little bit early, nothing crazy. It is already 5 o'clock in the morning. And I've only been out there to the school twice. And luckily that's the day before. The first time I went out there, I went from Edge to there, which was a different route. And then the day before I went from home to there to take over stuff to them. So I get in my car and I'm driving over there. And when I'm driving over there, I'm pulling out my GPS to type in how to get there. And I'm like, okay. And I get outside and I'm on Hirschborn and I'm about to get on the expressway because I know how to initially get there. And it's not working. I'm like, what is happening? So I turn my phone off. I turn my phone back on. Still trying to driving. Know my general initial way to start to get there. Not working. So at that point, I see the SOS, which I'm like, what is that? System, system out of service or service out of whatever.
Yeah.
So I go to call Lauren, not working either. I'm like, oh no, what do I do? Do I need to turn around? I don't really know if I know how to get there. I've got 18 to 20 people about to be waiting on me on my first day. So I was like, all right, well, maybe if I get into a Wi-Fi, maybe if I need to stop at like a Starbucks on the way, I can find one easily. I can get on a Wi-Fi, call, figure it out.
Nailed it.
Luckily enough, I figured it out. I got there. And I got there. I was right on time. I wasn't as early as I wanted to be because I had to kind of take it slow. But I made it. That phone thing. I told Lauren that.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. And not to get all boomer, but shows our dependence, our reliance on it,
Yeah. What was that?
And I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was wild. Did you watch Avatar yet, by the way? It came out yesterday.
I know. Did it come out yesterday or today? Yeah. When I was reading your notes.
Yeah.
For what we were going to talk about, I read it as if it was Thursday, and it comes out tomorrow, which is now today. I didn't watch it. No.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, it's not a big deal. I thought they were going to come out. It is Netflix, so I thought it was going to be an episode per day, like per week. But they dropped the whole thing. It's 8 episodes. I watched 10 minutes of it.
Okay.
And then now my TikTok feed is nothing but the comparison.
Yeah, true. What do you prefer? Weekly eps or dropping the whole thing?
I generally can't even I prefer just drop the whole thing. I don't need the weekly because
dude, that weekly, that feeling of like anticipation and like reading everything that people are saying online between eps, undefeated.
You like that?
Such a great feeling. I love that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it, but
when Succession did that, season 4, it was so hype. I was watching it every week with everyone else, Yeah,
I guess that would be fun, especially if you're watching with people.
Yeah.
It does make it fun. But then you could just also watch 2 episodes with them every week or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but then like the spoiler thing, because like you don't know where people are at. So the social media engagement on like the show itself is way less because people don't want to give spoilers and their opinions if you drop a whole bunch of eps compared to weekly where people can talk about what they've seen, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's true because my TikTok feed this morning, because I watched a couple of videos on Avatar, even just a few minutes ago, was them comparing. They literally had at the top of the screen, they had the scene from the show. And then
like
below
side by
that,
side.
yeah. And then they showed the differences of the two. And basically in that one, they were kind of complaining, which I did agree with one thing they didn't do. I was like, come on, what are we doing? And that brought up another question when I was watching that. When it comes to like live action, just shows going from something that's not a book or movie or animated, should they just I personally think they literally should just make it as similar as possible, just on the tee of what it should be. Do you think they like changes, or are you just like, just make it the same? I'm just make it the same. I don't want changes. I already love the initial content, maybe little minor ones, but the one that I saw earlier, the change was like, you just changed a part that shouldn't have been changed at all.
Yeah, I guess that's tough. My first thought would be like video games and when they like remake video games and how they update it and change stuff. But I guess it's different because there's like a storyline and a plot point, plot points that they have to hit. So yeah, I'd probably prefer like a just direct remake, like exactly the same,
Yeah. Well, and I'm not going to do any spoilers on it because I don't know how people are going to watch Avatar, but I won't. But the change that they made, they can't make an excuse that it was because of a CGI issue or being able to take the animated version and make it real, because there was an animated part of, or there was a CGI part of what they would need to do to make it happen. But they could have they already were doing it. It's hard to explain without explaining it, but yeah. Like, why do they change that? I don't know. It's weird. Make the same thing. Is all I ask for.
So are we gonna let's talk about one episode a week. We're gonna make it weekly.
Okay.
We're gonna make it weekly.
Well, we're only doing this podcast every 2 weeks, which is fine too.
2 episodes a week.
We could do like 1 or 2. I think will be fine. Yeah.
How many episodes were there?
There's 8, and I watched like.
Is that the whole season?
I think so.
Really?
I don't know how long they are.
Yeah. How long are they?
I don't know. Look it up. I think
that's another question. What do you prefer? 40-minute eps or 20-minute eps?
I think something like this, if it is only, well, I think 45 is the cap. If something gets longer than 45, I'm like, it's so long for an episode.
It's longer than 45. It better be like God tier TV,
All right, this episode looks like it's all right. So the first episode is 1 hour and 3, and then 48, 52, 55, 52, 56.
Okay, so 47. That makes sense. That actually makes a lot more sense because the original Avatar is like 25-minute eps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're only doing 8, then they probably will get through the whole first season.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the description of the last episode. I'm not going to read it, but I don't know if they get to the full season. Based on that, I don't think they do. I don't think they get to the full season. It might be just, maybe they're going to drop another 18 for the rest of it. I don't know. Okay.
So what have you been doing? Like,
what have I been doing?
Yeah. It's been like, what, 2-3 months?
Yeah.
3.5 months, like since like Thanksgiving, basically.
Well, the last episode was episode 60, which was it was kind of a big episode. The Taylor Swift MGK was the title. Yeah, all nonsense. And we made the presentations. That was the last one we did. That's right. Yeah, so I just been super busy. Different projects I've just they're just been bigger and put more time into. I'm actually working on another one today. I'm doing the NFL Combine starts next week.
Nice.
So I'm doing 4 videos. It's actually probably end up being 5 on how to just set up a 40 and how to do a 40 really well and how to work on it. Because what I did is I went on YouTube and I tried to find videos that were condensed really to the point of what's going to be effective at teaching certain components or even teaching certain stuff it's not even out there. Michael Johnson was one of them. He used to be an Olympic level sprinter and his video is great, but it's like really long. So I've just condensed it down to make it a little bit more impactful. So work.
I like that.
And
I still think you should do the Combine yourself.
Dude, I'm not.
You should.
I'm gonna out myself.
What is it? 225? Is it 225 reps?
Yeah, I'm not banging out many. I mean, I'm just saying.
Like 3.
The issue would be my sprint would just be way too slow. I haven't sprinted.
I would love that. I would love to see your time.
I don't want to out myself.
Over under 4.55.
4.5 as in like a 40? What do you mean?
Yeah. Over under yourself.
I'm definitely gonna be over 4.5. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
No, I would. I mean,
run every day, all day long.
But not that distance.
You don't run a 40? Oh, I guess you're inside your gym. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, it's all small, okay, and I don't sprint every day. It would be rough. I don't know. And I'm supposed to film.
What's a better line? Like 4.7.5, like 4.75
on a laser right now, dude. I'm gonna be like 5.
No way.
100%.
I don't believe you.
I'm 5'10". You think if you think of the guys, you think of the guys that putting on 4.5s, 4.7s on a laser. They're 18 to 23 years old.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
They've been sprinting a ton. Most of those guys on average are 6 foot plus. They got it's just different. Not trying to give myself an excuse, but I could train back down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The fastest I've done on a laser.
Yeah.
I have a video of it too. I think it was 22 or 23. And again, I was on a laser, so it was legit. Not a 22 or 23 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I ran a 4.7, like a legit 4.7. It was on an indoor soccer field.
Clearly, my brain is just like not really thinking about it. 4.7. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was a legit 40. I was still kind of playing soccer. I was 4.7 for my height. I feel like is pretty respectable.
I was just about to say, I didn't really think about the height thing either. Because literally, the average height in that combine has to be like 6'3", 6'4", which is definitely way different.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And then
I would love to see your numbers though.
Might pull a hamstring. Yeah, well, and I say that because my voice is going to be all over the place today. Sometimes it's going to be here in my nose, and then I'm going to have to like mute myself, and that wasn't muted. I'm sorry. I am supposed to film the video for the 40 today, which I am going to do. But I deadlifted really heavy on Wednesday, like a dum-dum. I was feeling real good, and I was like, let's go for this. So my legs are so sore, which means yesterday I tried to recover by foam rolling and really getting them. They're still really sore, and I'm going to have to do, I don't know, not full 40 reps. I'm going to have to do so many reps to get every camera angle of this thing. So today's going to be miserable when I go to shoot this. But it is what it is. Got to do it. What have you been up to?
School. Dude, I hate school. I'm genuinely so over it.
Do you have class today?
Yeah. So, I teach one class.
Yeah. How's that? Is that fun? Is that fun at least?
Yeah. No, the students are like super cool and we have a good time and whatever. But I actually canceled class this morning for them. So.
Just like no class today?
Yeah, because I have the power to do that.
How's that feel?
It's kind of crazy because there are days where I don't really want to be there because it's every morning at 8 a.m., which 8 a.m. doesn't sound that early, but it is kind of early for school, you know? Like in college, you don't like going to your 8 a.m. classes, But anyways, yeah, so this morning I let them sleep in, which was amazing and powerful. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of over school. I hate.
How many years do you have? How much?
I have one more year. After this.
Well,
so it's really not that bad. I just gotta suck it up and deal, get the degree and get out.
I will never ever go back to school, and unless you're like you're gonna make this amount of money when you come out, and you have to do it for this long. I'll be like, okay, but if it's
and
can't do it at my age too, though.
So shallow, but like that's like part of the reason I'm getting my degree is just for the pay bump.
Yeah,
it's really all it is. I do appreciate the education I'm receiving, and there's a lot of valuable things that I'm receiving. specifically for like education that I didn't get in my undergraduate degree, but for the most part, it's not worth it, kids. Get the degree and get out, you know.
Don't get a master's. I don't know. It's always the in between of your situation is definitely, it helps no matter what. It has a direct line, a direct correlation. Where something for like me,
no,
if
I'd go get help at all.
If I was younger, then maybe. But I've talked to, I guess, like only like one or two people that are getting their master's in my field and not going to PT school. One of them, he's just going into like more research, which he definitely needs it for research. But he's like, for what you do, because I used to work with him a little bit, actually coaching. He's like, dude, don't. It's a waste.
Yeah, I could definitely see. Maybe I could see like learning more about financials and maybe running a business might be interesting. But
what are you talking about? I am perfect on all of those things.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what you're talking
about. I feel like it wouldn't be worth it as a whole for the nuggets that you would pull out, if that makes sense.
You know? Yeah, especially when it's really expensive.
Yeah.
To go back to school.
Honestly, it'd probably be worth it online. I hear a lot of like people enjoy getting their masters online.
Yeah.
But school's kind of the worst though.
Yeah. I know.
Don't drop out, kids, though. Okay.
Yeah. Stay in school.
That degree.
Stay in school. Do school. Did you? I know you saw it, but I do want to talk about this, and it's going to be the clip for this episode, probably. Okay. So make it really good.
I'll hype it all up. What do we got?
No, I'm just kidding. The video I did on my top 10 favorite. We're back to shows. My top 10 favorite comedies.
Yeah. I saw it a while ago. When did you drop it?
It was, I don't know. It's been so long since probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen it.
So I'll read off the list here. I'm gonna get your opinion as well, and then we're gonna go over it in a sense of actually looking at some alternatives that I think I could have put in there too. So kind of playing with the comments.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah, for sure. So my list. So everyone that hasn't heard it, so they can hear it here or seen it. Yeah. Number 1 was Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Number 2 was Community.
Why are you starting at the top? That's so anticlimactic.
Number 1 is Always Sunny. Just kidding. I'm just straight to the point. Number 1 was Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Number 2 was Community. Number 3 was The League. 4 Seinfeld. 5 New Girl. 6 Modern Family. 7 Eastbound and Down. 8 South Park. Blue Mountain State as 9, and Ted Lasso as 10. Did you catch those?
Yeah, I mean, so I have never seen The League.
Did you need to see The League?
I was like, oh, okay, I guess that exists.
You need to see The League if you've never seen it. It was actually in the comment section. That was a very common one of like, I'm glad The League got some respect.
Yeah, I did. I remember that. I remember that in the comments because I was like, oh, is this a show I've missed out on? But I think New Girl is too high. I don't think it should even be on there if I'm being 100% honest.
Which is perfect.
It's just so... It's like heartwarming more than it is like a comedy to me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's just like
no, I got you.
It's like a feel-good show, but not like I'm going to sit here and find everything funny, you know?
Well, that was like I thought the comment section was going to be way more brutal just because everyone has their own opinion, which I respect. I mean, and they're very passionate about it because they love shows, they fall in love with characters, or they like a show because it has that feel-good feeling. So this list, there were certain ones like New Girl that it isn't the funniest by far, and it is pretty high up in the list. But because it's something that Laura and I have watched a ton, she always puts on in the background kind of thing.
There's a connection to it in a way.
Yeah, which is very similar to a lot of people with The Office, which is not on the list.
Yeah,
they kind of have that same feel.
It's a very interesting choice. Now, how did you frame the list? My top 10?
It was... I mean, I can just play the video. I can't remember. I didn't.
My top 10, or is it the top 10?
Where we're gonna. I don't remember specifically, so we'll just play the audio on it real quick in the beginning. Here we go. I think it's my top
shows. Here's my top 10 list
of
funniest shows
and that's
of all time, taking into account not just how funny they are, but also the writing and overall enjoyability.
There we go. So I included some of that too.
See, it's all about how you like.
Frame
it's
it.
all about how you contextualize the list. If it's my top 10, then honestly, people can't really argue.
Yeah.
If it's the top 10, that's where you draw the heat.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get much heat, which is nice. Some people it was anyone that gave me heat. They're like, don't make a list. This is stupid. I did respond back respectfully. Okay, if that is true, then put your top 3 and let's see what everybody else agree. And then none of the like 4 or 5 people that I said that to responded, which of course. But I think on this list, the one thing that's hands down, I don't think you can argue, and this is where we'll get into The Office and Always Sunny a bit, is Always Sunny Philadelphia is just I think it's just hands down above them so high as the funniest show ever.
Yeah, I think that's why it's existed so long. Is it's just always so relevant. It feels like the might sound weird. It feels like the stand-up of TV shows, where it is the most comedically out there, but yet it works perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they take a concept to its absolute extreme and then put it on TV.
No, they definitely go to extremes.
Well, exactly, which is what stand-up does. They take mundane things and like take it to the extreme level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they talk about outlandish things in a normal way, right? And that show does both of those things.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And like normal TV shows don't do that for the most part, like they do.
Well, also, I saw a video the other day. It was, as I've gotten older, I've started to relate more to the way that Dennis feels about a bunch of situations. and I was like, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but I was like, I kind of feel the same way.
One of my favorite things about that show is the Dennis is a serial killer trope.
Yeah.
That is so funny to me.
Yeah, it definitely runs that line.
Yeah, because when you watch it back and you like see all the little hints that they throw in about him, it's so fun.
They sprinkle them in there for sure. Yeah, the Office I didn't put on there, and this is kind of the reason why for me. If I had to make a top 15, it's in there. I haven't watched all of The Office. I've watched a ton of episodes though. And I think it's kind of tainted, and I'll use Always Sunny, which is my favorite, and The Office, which is not my top 10 in comparison. When I was younger and I started, The Office kind of came out and streaming services weren't around then, and it came to like watching The Office. I didn't have a lot of access to it because I didn't have cable. I don't even know if it was on. Yeah. I didn't have cable, so I just didn't watch it a lot. And when I initially watched it, my humor back then, I just didn't get it. Nowadays, I get it. I understand the insight. I get the whole thing. I just, it's something that it wasn't my smooth brain. It wasn't enough in my face funny, so I didn't get it. I was like, I didn't get it. And then now I've gotten older.
I mean, yeah, that is kind of the point. Is it's very not hidden. It's just subtle. It's subtle is kind of the point.
Yeah, which can mean the writing carries it kind of thing, and then the characters are able to kind of portray that in a way that it makes it work. That now I get it. Still not my favorite. And then going to Always Sunny Philadelphia, the first time I saw it, which I remember this very vividly. I was at my friend's Lee's house, and we watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and it was just so out there, so outlandish. Yeah. But I didn't know the inside jokes that was happening, so I thought it was dumb. So these are 2 times, like when I was like a teenager or maybe a little bit younger with The Office, that I just didn't like shows. Now we move further in the future, and I start watching them again on streaming services, and Always Sunny just cranks it up a notch. And I do get The Office more, but it's still just not my top 10.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Is there anything else that's missing though? Like, were there any other comments that were not happy?
Yeah, so it was just people adding to it, but it was just shows I hadn't seen. So Arrested Development was one.
I've heard a lot about that. Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
But a lot of times with that one, it was seasons 1 through 3. After that, it's just terrible. I don't know why, but that was the common kind of trope. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I haven't seen it.
I've heard that's incredible. Like, actually so good.
Veep, which was, some people said it, and then other people, yeah, it has the girl from Seinfeld, Dreyfus. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think she's the main character. She might be president or something. She's something political, but it was
right. Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
So some people were like, "That's a great show," and then other people were like, "No, it's not." And then my favorite ones was when people were like, "What about Schitt's Creek?" No. And then what about The Big Bang Theory? That's funny. The Big Bang Theory is kind of trashed on a lot about being a laugh track show, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the modern day sitcom that's like holding on for dear life to that genre of TV, and it when people actually like it, it's a red flag for me. The problem is too, like my parents love it, and so it's giant red flag. And I used to watch it with them, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of fun." When I was like a kid, I guess early teenager. And then as I started hearing buzz about it and watching it through the lens of like, oh, there's just laugh tracks going on, it ruined the show. It absolutely ruined the show for me. And now it's just not funny or entertaining.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that's if you get into some subreddits, you can definitely people are going off on making fun of it.
And what's kind of weird though is like Friends hasn't been completely ruined for me. Although I do love when they take out the laugh tracks. Those clips are so funny. But Friends hasn't been ruined for me. And I feel like maybe it's just like a nostalgia thing more than anything. Now, I wouldn't say it's top tier comedy show, but it's not ruined yet.
Yeah, it's still a good show. Well, I think the other was How I Met Your Mother. I love How I Met Your Mother too. I just didn't put it on here.
It's heartwarming.
How I Met Your Mother. And then with like South Park, I was kind of in between on. I wanted to put one animated series on there. I haven't seen a ton of South Park, but I just respect it so much on where it will go places, and some of the episodes are just so funny.
Yeah, talk about extremes. They take it to the extreme. I mean,
no filter. They can kind of do whatever they want. I think if I was to switch out to a different animated, maybe Family Guy. I used to always like watching Family Guy.
Yeah. What about Simpsons? How do you feel about the Simpsons?
It's just not that funny. I mean,
they should just stop. I think. Yeah. I don't know. What season do you think they're on?
20 something, maybe more. I don't know. It's definitely up there. Yeah, the Simpsons. I mean, it's fun, but it's not Family Guy or 40 something probably now. I'm just gonna double it.
Season 35.
35. Yeah, they're way up there. Was it BoJack Horseman? That was another one that people said something about.
That one's really good. I haven't seen it all the way through, but it's genuinely really funny. I've heard the ending is like it's more like depressing and like realistic than it is like funny, but it's funny in that way that it like kind of mirrors real life emotions and feelings.
Yeah. I think that's really all the ones at Parks and Rec. I'm not even going to get into Parks and Rec.
Okay. I have a great question for you, and this would really provide a lot of insight to who you are. If you had a movie about you, who would you want to play you? Off the top of your head, go.
From like
I have an answer for you.
Okay. As like someone from a comedy show or just like in general?
No. In general, pick an actor.
Who was going to play me?
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna have to say who the one you're because it's such a broad question for me to think about off the top of my head. Well, who do you have in mind? And if you say Charlie Day, I'm closing. I'm closing. I'm out of here.
When I look at you, the first person I see is Bradley Cooper.
Okay, but like personality or just like
no, just like looks, to be able to match your looks.
Okay,
like in it. When I'm just thinking off the top of my head, I would say Bradley Cooper. Now, personality, like if you wanted to go more funny, I think like Andy Samberg would be kind of fun. That might be interesting. But maybe like I don't know, like a Ryan Reynolds would be interesting too.
I mean, this is not insulting at all. So
I'm flattering you right now.
Thank you. Maybe we need that'll be a question for the next one. We'll write down. We have to bring up a list of what people would play. I'm thinking like personality too. I don't know.
This is off the dome too. I didn't really spend time thinking about this.
We'll come back to it. We'll bring it back in the next one. I'll give some ones for you as well. of just looks and then also personality they can kind of bring into a show or movie about me or you. All right, Kevin, anything comedy-wise you got left? Shows?
Not really. I mean, I'm still upset about your Parks and Rec feelings, but we don't have to dive into that because we've had that discussion.
Yeah, well, I mean, the main character is annoying. I get she's supposed to be annoying, and I just can't handle it. So that's it. That's the bottom line. There's other characters that I enjoy. There's episodes that I enjoy, but I just can't deal with how annoying she is, and that's
like the whole point.
But why should it be a point? Why do I want to be annoyed for that's the reason I don't watch scary movies. Why am I going to spend my time being scared? What are we doing? I understand that at the end of it, it's a release because it's dramatic and you don't feel like you're like, no, she's annoying.
Wait, let's talk about that scary movie thing. Why do you think people watch scary movies, in your opinion?
I think about it from the scientific standpoint of it. When you're watching something that is scary or incredibly dramatic or intense, when it's over, your brain actually kind of releases just like happy feelings. It's the same reason if you go to like a haunted house, you're like scared, you're on this high alert, and you got this like flight or fight moment, and then when it's over, you have this elated moment where it's like it becomes this like high, basically.
Is that because it's not real?
Yes.
And that's like the sole reason?
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, my life is not like this. Thank God.
Kind of. It's an elated moment that isn't necessarily real, so it's not like necessarily traumatic.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Then you're like, all right, I'm good. Yeah. That's why people, and I just don't want to, I respect it, but not for me.
Yeah. I've never really thought about this. I just wonder if you had an opinion.
I do.
I don't know. I've never been a scary movie person, so.
Yeah, me either.
I guess I'm kind of with you.
This could be a conversation or not be a conversation at all. Have you played Helldivers 2 yet, or do you know where it is?
No, I haven't. I've gotten a couple messages from friends to buy it and play it, but I don't know. Something in me needs to be convinced more when it comes to games. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, and it's not that I don't like trust my friends' recommendations or anything, but when I'm going to drop money on a game, I have to be very convinced to buy it. Mm-hmm. So like Power World, you heard of that one?
Yes.
Yeah. It was huge, big. It's still kind of big. And I wasn't convinced on it. I wasn't convinced to buy it. And so I haven't bought it. Helldivers 2. I haven't seen that much about it. I've seen that a lot of people are playing it and they like it. Seems super fun. Still haven't been convinced. So I don't know.
Just watch one video on TikTok and it'll be your whole feed for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is my opinion. So I haven't played a ton. I've played twice with my brother. Okay. I bought it. I played it with my brother twice. It is, what is the best way to describe it? It is just fun. It's also hard, especially if you're playing two people.
What is like, describe to me.
Yeah.
What's the like gameplay?
Okay. So it's definitely a game that you want to play with your friends. Like playing it solo is way too hard. It's a game you want to kind of just mess around with your friends and do. So far what we've played is you basically have a ship. And have you ever seen the movie Starship Troopers? Okay, cool. What? It's actually on Netflix and a ton of people are watching it now because of this game. So it's kind of a futuristic world where you're having to either fight these massive bugs or basically robots. And I'm probably butchering the crap out of this because I've only played a little bit, but that's what it is. And you're a Helldiver. And essentially you and your team, you're supposed to drop in and you're supposed to complete a mission. And there's upgrades to weapons. There's different types of weapons. You have a primary, you have a secondary, and then you can pick up what's called like a heavy weapon. So like a big machine gun. And there's a bunch of other guns that you get. You have grenades, and you have to fight off the bugs and work together to fight off the bugs. You can also call in like airstrikes, napalm stuff that comes in. We have cooldowns.
Yeah.
You run out of ammo, and when you run out of ammo, you have to call in ammo drops, or you have an ammo pack in your back that you have to work to actually make sure you have enough ammo. Also, it's very realistic in a lot of ways because if you shoot your teammate, they're dead. If you blow up your teammate, they're dead. So friendly fire's on. And also, if you're shooting your weapon, which is kind of annoying
friendly fire moment.
It happened a lot the other night.
Of course it did.
Just look, and then it says on the screen, "Your teammate has killed you." So it's kind of like cheesy fun too.
Yeah.
And like if you reload and your gun still has like ammo in the clip, you lose that. It's just like you don't. It doesn't like, you know what I mean? So it's very kind of realistic in a sense, and the play style of what it would be if you're kind of playing. The music's fun during it. I will play more, and I will literally give you a genuine like, dude, you need to get it.
Okay.
But I would. It's a PC game, so we could play together actually too. And I just started
good.
Cross-platform
games that are not cross-platform. What do you do? It's 2024.
Yeah.
Why would you make a game that's not cross-platform?
It's fun. I like it.
Anyways.
I will play more, and then I've enjoyed it. And then Overwatch changed their stuff. We won't talk too much about games, but
God, I don't want to talk about Overwatch.
Now it's got like a 10 skill-based thing.
Whatever.
I haven't played too much. Okay.
It's annoying.
So,
okay, let's talk about this movie that you just pulled up for a second, and then you can move on to your other topic. But it looks like a terrible movie. It just looks like a terrible movie.
What movie are you talking about?
Starship Troopers, dude.
Oh yeah,
it looks awful.
It's
now the cast, impressive. Denise Richards, Neil Patrick Harris, Michael Ironside, like those are legit names. And it looks terrible.
If you want to watch a cheesy, amazing movie this weekend, go for it. It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, oh my God, it looks so bad.
It's cheesy. It's meant to be cheesy.
What a terrible name.
It has a 7.3 as a cheesy movie on IMDb. Yep, I just saw that.
Is it supposed to be bad?
Yes, and I don't even think it was supposed to be bad. It's just
that bad.
It's like bad but good. I don't know. It's interesting. My brother and I used to watch that movie all the time, actually. I'm being dead serious too.
You should put a coffee counter. How many times I've sipped this coffee in this episode?
Yeah, I'm not counting that.
Over 20 for sure. You should count it. Okay, what'd you have? You had something and I...
Oh, no. What was it? Oh, this is just a note back. I'm on episode like 400 of One Piece, by the way.
400?
Yes, sir.
Dude, last time...
It's all I watch. I watch it when I'm on the stairs. I watch it when I'm meal prepping on Sundays. It's just on my iPad. Oh
my God, dude. 400.
I've been on a tear.
20-minute episodes?
20-25. They're pretty short.
400 is crazy.
Well, you got to think about it. On Sundays, I cook for 2 to 3 hours every Sunday of meal prep stuff, and it's just on the whole time. And I'm kind of like loosely watching it, but while just listening. If something good comes on, I stop it. And the reason this is the reason I want to bring it up. And this is going to be...
You have watched it for 153 hours.
And I'm not even halfway through. It's like 1,200 episodes.
Is it good? That's a third. You're a third of the way through.
Yeah. So this is what I want to talk about. I'm just going to start calling out what things I want to make into clips. So this is going to be another clip here for the One Piece people out there.
Okay.
So I'm on what's called, or I just finished it, I guess. It's called the Thriller Bark arc of One Piece. Before that, there was another arc. It was a Water 7 arc, or the Enies Lobby arc. That arc was so good. I think it's arguably up there as one of the best arcs of the show. It's amazing. So we went from the Water 7 Enies Lobby arc into this one, which is past some of the little filler stuff. It's the Thriller Bark arc. I watched about 5 to 6 episodes of this arc. And it's they introduce a new character a little bit, who's this guy named Bones. He's this really tall guy that's literally just a skeleton because he's got devil fruit powers that saved his life. And they go to Thriller Bark, which is this huge kind of like ship island. And there's a bunch of zombies, and it has this kind of like weird feel to it where it's almost like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's kind of slow in the beginning. And I wasn't liking it. I was like, we just came off this great Water 7 arc. And I was like, do I have to... How long is this? So I look it up, and I was like, can I skip this? I've never skipped anything yet. I have not. I skipped like one filler weird episode. And it says don't skip it. A lot of people really like it. It's fun. There's a bunch of really important parts of the story in it. There's some cool scenes. So I watched 3 or 4 more episodes. cannot stand this part of the show. I was like, I don't like it. So I did skip. I went ahead and skipped like several episodes and just looked up the important ones and tagged them out. And then I watched the end of the arc. And I will say, I want people's opinion. Do they actually like the Thriller Bark arc? The ending's fine. Some of the scenes are great. But all the zombie weird stuff, I just cannot do it. So I did skip some. So that's why I get to go a little bit higher in my watching of the 400s. But Thriller Bark, nah.
I didn't understand a single sentence you just said.
Mm-hmm. Well, arcs of shit. You know what arcs are?
No,
right?
I get that. You just like the Skeleton Man was doing big angry things and had many powers is kind of all I got out of that.
It's not any of the things I did say. I did say big skeleton guy though.
That's it.
Yeah.
What is the power creep like after 1,200 episodes?
I don't know.
It's got to be insane, right?
Well, I mean, this is not even a spoiler. It's everywhere. Luffy, the main character, right now he can go up to what's called Gear 3, where I'm at. And I think on the arc he is now, he's at like Gear 5 or 6. Slow. No clue. Don't know.
Just like 100, you know.
He randomly in an episode just does Gear 2. He's just like doing. I don't want to explain it because I want to ruin it for anyone.
I don't want to.
He goes into Gear 2.
Gear 2.
Yeah, and the thing about these shows, if you're to explain them to anyone, like I've explained it a little bit to Lauren because she's gonna watch the live action show because I've been listening to ACOTAR, the books. I'm on book 3. I'm cranking through those books.
Yeah.
So I told her if I listen to 2, she has to watch the live action One Piece.
That's a good plan. A little ploy.
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying those books though. And yeah, so I was trying to explain the anime to her and she's like, "What are you saying?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, yeah, it sounds wild when I say it out loud."
Okay, I want to talk about this.
Right.
This is not sponsored.
Okay.
Not sponsored. One of my favorite apps that I own now, it's a sports app and it's called Real Sports App.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on it an hour to 2 hours every day.
Okay.
It is one of the biggest like waste of my time in my life right now, currently.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, and when I explain this to people, they're like, "Oh, that sounds like a lot." And I'm like, "It is a lot, but I'm on it all the time." So it's just a normal sports app where you can like track scores and players' stats and all that kind of stuff. But then there's like a card collecting element to it. So I can collect like my favorite players. You might not even find it, honestly.
Yeah, I had to log into the app, but
yeah. So I can like collect a LeBron James card.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole other side of the app where that card earns an in-game currency, which I can then use to buy plays from specific games and upgrade the LeBron James card to earn more in-game currency. It's crazy, and I spend so much time on it now.
Is it like a game? I mean, is it kind of like a game, or what's the end goal?
It's the end thing is you can keep up with your sports teams, and you can collect your favorite players and your favorite specific plays. So, like if Kevin Durant hits a game winner, there's a card that is of that game-winning shot, and you can collect it. And you can trade with people, and you can open packs with different plays in them.
So do you have like a deck then, essentially, or do you just have a collection of cards?
Well, it's just a collection of cards. So like you can't really do anything with the collection except for trade with other people. And you can like upgrade your player to like a certain status. And there's like leaderboards of who has like the best card. And there's like groups where you can like talk to people about the games and stuff and trade with them. And then there's another angle where you're basically betting fake currency. So it's like not money, but you can like bet on the games. So if you think Kyrie's going to score 30 points tonight, you can bet on that. It is so complicated. And every time I talk to someone about it, they're like, that sounds like too much. I don't want to.
Sounds like a lot of work.
But I love it. I love it so much.
Do you just do, is it just basketball?
No, it's, they have like 5 sports. They have NBA, NFL, MLB, college football, hockey, men's college basketball, and UFC. And they're adding WNBA this season.
And are you just doing the basketball?
No, I do it all. I use it all.
Oh, geez. Wow.
It's a lot.
That seems like a lot.
An hour to 2 hours every day. Like if I look at my screen time, that's the app I'm on.
Well, it's like with the Super Bowl when I was doing all the betting apps with all the free money they were giving out. I was trying to figure out those things, and I'm like, all right, what does this mean? And I was like, all right, just do money line because I have this parlay and overrun. And I was like, get out of here. This is complicated.
Anyways, I just like ranted on that for a few minutes because I love it so much. I absolutely love it.
No, it sounds cool. I'm not getting into it, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it because you just don't watch sports.
No.
How's that been going? How has the last 3 months been going with you watching sports?
I haven't watched any sports. I watched the Super Bowl.
That's it?
Nothing else.
I thought we were getting better.
No. I've been watching 400 episodes of One Piece. I don't know what you're talking about.
That is what you're wasting your time with. That's right.
Wasting my time. It like puts you in a club of cool people if you watch the whole thing. I don't know where you've been at, but that's how that works. And I haven't watched any sports.
You get a t-shirt?
I should actually. You should, if you watch from beginning to end, you should get a t-shirt. They should send out shirts from now on. All right, that's the last thing we'll go into.
Is it sports performance related?
No. We already talked about the 40. That was it. That was sports performance. Unless you have a question to ask me.
We'll see.
Have you been working out?
No. That's one thing I'll talk about at the end. So you talk about your thing, and I'll bring it up.
We'll roll this out here. All these episodes from now on, we're just gonna keep these things on. Like we're just gonna I don't even care.
No, go everywhere.
Just loose and everywhere it can be. And every single time I'm gonna say something about a clip. I'm like, this is gonna be a clip. I'm just kidding.
No,
it's not. I'm gonna write that down. So, just looking at what to talk about, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to YouTube and look on the trending page.
Dude, that is a wasteland. That is a wasteland. Just a cesspool of so much garbage.
So I very rarely do it. And I remember back in the day, I used to do it all the time because I think there was a button down at the bottom of the app or on. Yeah. It used to have it. Now it's like
they used to just have a page.
Yeah. Now it's like top. Like I was like, there's got to have the trending thing that's on here. And I found it. And then as I'm scrolling through, just like you said, it's a wasteland. I was like, these videos are all over the place. And some of these titles are so unhinged. How is this
Yeah, it did.
So I typed down, I guess there's way too many. I'm not going to read all these off.
That's fine.
A bunch of the titles of these titles were all within the top 15 on the list that I'm saying here. And the range is out of control. So the first one was eating, it wasn't the first one, but one of them was eating 100 years of candy. And then directly below that. Yeah, so it was basically like candy that came out. Yeah.
Oh. I see. Okay.
Not years old. It was like...
See, it's confusing. And that's the point. It's ambiguous a little bit. Okay.
Well, the thumbnail kind of made it...
Oh, it helps? Okay.
Yeah, it definitely helps in the thumbnail. Because I didn't watch it, and I picked up what he was saying. Because I get what you mean. And then after that was, after the bombs, what happens after a nuclear war?
I don't know. How do they know?
I don't know. I kind of want to watch that one, though. It's one of those popular science channels that looked fun.
Yeah.
Bodies and Secrets Under the Floorboard. The Stinky Serial Killer / Mystery and Makeup. That's a whole video. Yep, I'll read it again. Bodies and Secrets Under the Floorboard. ? The Stinky Serial Killer. And then it had a little / Mystery and Makeup. And the thumbnail was her putting on makeup.
Well, I know who it's about. Because I just know that. But that is a crazy title. That is a crazy unhinged title, dude. And
then a music video. Boss Man Slow. It sounds like I'm making this up. I'm not even kidding. Boss Man Slow. So it's Boss Man Slow dash Mr. Pot Scraper from the Block Performance.
Huh?
Exactly. We're going to go on from there. We're having a ... our intimate gender reveal. Next one, Kodak Black. He came out with a song called, I can't speak now, called Shampoo.
It's kind of dope, actually. I like that. I like that.
And then the last two here, in one day, this thing got 250,000 views. What happens if the sun crashes into villagers?
What? What does that mean?
Maybe that's why it's clicked on so much. The thumbnail was interesting too. What if happens if the sun?
You know what? Let's workshop our title for this episode right now.
Okay. Well, let me do the last one and we'll do that.
Okay.
The last one was, I don't even know if this is any good. Oh yeah, this one's kind of cool actually. 400,000 views in a day. Could you make an umbrella out of lasers? That's YouTube for you.
Okay.
The clickable.
I think. Okay. Let's talk about what you should title this one. Okay.
To make it very clickable.
Very, very like specific. I think it needs to be like, you have to use this now. Okay.
Okay.
One Piece t-shirt or Helldivers 2 ? Just two topics that we've talked about with a question mark.
So it's not clickbait at all. I like it. All right. I'm going to write that. What's on the thing? I just can go back to the video. Okay.
Or just One Piece or Helldivers 2 ?
Okay.
And they're just two completely separate parts of the episode.
And then what I'll do is I'll make the thumbnail. I'll cut you onto the side, and then you'll be the Helldivers side, and then I'll be the One Piece side. There we go. Boom.
I like that.
Thumbnail.
And here's the thing. They're going to watch all the way through and realize it had nothing to do with anything.
Well, the t-shirt thing is kind of true. I think you should get a t-shirt once you finish that show.
You should put a t-shirt on yourself. Like, can you Photoshop a t-shirt onto you?
Too much work. I mean, I could, but it's too much work.
A lot of effort.
I wouldn't even, well, my shirt, my this is kind of blank, so I just I could just put I could just put something on my shirt.
Like a little logo.
Just, no One Piece logo.
Okay.
All right, what's your...
Very small. Do you have like a way... This sounds so crazy.
It's not how the beginning of how all fitness questions have you, that you always exacerbate it. It's like, I'm going to ask a dumb question, but we're going to ask it anyways. I know it's coming.
What do you like tell your clients as far as like motivation? And I'm not talking like YouTube guy motivation or like TikTok, stupid. Like, I love the guy that gets in the ice bath who's like the Bills fan. I think he's great, but like also sometimes it's too much for me. What do you like? Do you have anything that you tell people to motivate them for working out or like staying active? Or is it just like hey, this is a good thing for you and you should do this because in the long run it's going to help? Is that the simplification? What do you got?
No, this is a great question. I actually really like this question. When I was younger, what I would say to people is different than what I say when I'm older. Just because of, I guess, perspective of life.
That makes sense.
Responsibilities, all of that, the increase of those things, just the insight into the world. It's slightly different. And there's all the cheesy ones, and the cheesy ones oftentimes are the ones that are the truth, which is the annoying part about it being the truth.
Yeah, definitely. I think what makes them annoying is the way they're presented. Mm-hmm. They're presented as like this profound, like, I'm the person that has thought of this, and now I'm bestowing this onto you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Instead of just like saying this is the reality,
Yeah, well, I mean, and the simplest way I can answer that question, in reality, this is the honest answer. There's motivation, and then there's discipline. There's days that you're not going to be motivated, but if you can stay disciplined, then that's how you're going to get your workout in. But guess what? Discipline is annoying because discipline isn't fun.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole thing of you wake up early in the morning, and you're like, you're tired. And you're like, I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I'm going to go to bed early tonight. You get all your stuff done. You did a great job. You did all your stuff. And then it gets to be late at night, and you're like, I want some me time.
Yeah,
I want some,
dude,
and then you don't go to bed. You don't go to bed early, and that's your discipline. But guess what? It's hard. I don't even have a good answer. It's literally
exactly. I feel like there isn't a good answer that doesn't sound really stupid or like.
It's hard. The answer is it's hard to stay disciplined, to stay motivated, to do something that you necessarily don't want to do is a challenge, or doing something that's difficult when you have a lack of time.
Yeah.
It makes it harder and harder. So, and then outside of that, sometimes the best way to do it is outside of discipline and motivation is structure. Literally, this is the time you work out. There's no exceptions. Show up, do it, leave.
Yeah. It's like a job, treating it like that.
You schedule it, you're going to feel better. Do it. I would say in that sense, you try to want to do it at times that you're going to be more effective. So if you're someone that you know that you have, like, all right, I can work out at 5:30 in the morning, or I can work out after work. And you're like, you're going to skip the 5:30s, then go after work. If you can feasibly do it, but then that ends up coming to a situation where maybe you can't feasibly do it one day. So you got to go pick up your car. You got to go take care of the dog. You got to do this or that. You got to go to school. Something came up. And then you get into a slippery slope of missing that day. So then the next day is like,
yeah, dude.
It's life. And it's annoying. So I don't have a rah answer. It's literally just got to do it.
Oh, and I don't think it should be that kind of answer, because that's not reality, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can watch as many motivational videos as you want. It's easier when you have more time, but if you don't, it's like,
yeah, man. Yep. And I think that's what's annoying. That's what's annoying about those videos is those people have the time because they've typically built a following and they have the kind of the freedom to say those kind of things, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like they have made it to a point, not all of them, financially, where they are free and have time and then can say these things without really understanding the realities.
Yeah.
Of the people that are watching them,
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole thing too. The people that say, well, just get up early in the morning. Well, in that point, if you're talking about like a health standpoint, if you're like me, for example, I work till 9 o'clock on certain nights. Like I've been working 9 o'clock for 5 months. I'm not, dude, I don't want to, I'm not waking up. I got to eat and I'm not waking up at 5. I need to get sleep. Sleep has to be number one priority. And you'd be surprised how often also, if you do get enough sleep, your mindset towards doing stuff that you don't want to do is also always higher.
Yeah.
Which is the truth of it. You're going to pick better foods. You're going to work out more. Sleep is a huge factor there, but it's
just life. Yeah,
it is what it is. All right, that's my fitness advice. Unless you have any more questions, That's
it. That's all I got for today.
Yeah, I like that question. I love how I did change it from back in the day. I was just like, just go, and now I'm like, just go to the gym. What are you doing? You're being lazy. Now I'm just like, I get it.
I want to go to bed. We're back and we're out.